Hey everybody, Ross here and welcome to Gamer Tagged Media with something slightly different today for today's recording broadcast. I am using Elgato's brand new FaceCam USB web camera. I've got the box and the camera is just frozen. That is wonderful. Hey, we're off to a great start. I don't quite understand why this keeps on freezing for me. Look at this. This is crazy. That's a shame. I'm going to switch over to my second camera. That is disappointing that the camera has locked up and frozen on me. I'm getting that an awful lot with this web camera, which is such a shame because I really want to love this web camera. It's something really, really interesting. I'm going to try and reboot the camera. It's just as well I've got a second camera set up for you, because I was going to say to everybody that this is a really cool web camera, like really, really interesting web camera that can yield some super impressive results. However, look at this, it's locked up, it's completely locked up, and even the Camera Hub software is fully locked up as well. That's disappointing. If I change over to the screen share, look, it's not even detecting. How frustrating is that? It was working fine just a few minutes ago, and then I went live and then it shit the bed, and that is extremely disappointing. I was quite excited to show you the web camera and the results that you can actually yield from it. So I'm going to try and quit this. Let me unplug the Elgato, which is this here. I'm going to unplug it. Where is the port? Okay, there we go. It's re-plugged in. Okay. Let me reboot the software. Let me launch the Camera Hub again, and we'll see if we can... There we go. The tally light is on. Okay, so that's good. There we go. And we're back again. So that is crazy. So as I was saying, this camera is actually... Look at the results you're getting from this web camera. Now, some caveats to get a picture this good. Let me switch over to the behind the scenes. So as you can see, we have the Elgato webcam hooked up. We've got the blue tally light, so we know it's working, we know it's live, which is great. And it uses USB-C, USB 3, and apparently you cannot use a powered USB hub with this or a standard USB hub, which is extremely disappointing. And honestly, for my setup, that's just not good enough. I need this thing going into a powered USB hub. It cannot take up one of the dedicated USB ports on the back of the machine. I need it to run on a powered USB hub, and sadly it does not. Now, you may notice that the frame rate is skipping. It's a little bit choppy. It is not smooth. I've tried this running into a powered USB hub and also running directly into the back of the USB 3 ports on the back of my Mac, and it's locked up again. That is insane. It's frozen again, and that means that I'm going to have to unplug the camera, reboot the camera software, and that is just ridiculous for a plug-and-play solution. I'm so disappointed because I was really excited to show this off to you. I was really excited to show you the software, which, as you can see, is completely locked, and there's my face. That's a good freeze frame face. That is so disappointing. Wow. Yeah, because of these technical issues, you cannot recommend this web camera to anybody, and it's so disappointing that this is happening. And then the camera has actually turned itself off now, so you can see the tally light is fully died on me. It's not getting any power. So again, let's recycle. We have to unplug this, okay? And where's the port? Where's the port? Plug it back in. It is a tight connection for sure. But this is using the cable that comes with the camera, and now we're back again. But if that keeps happening on a live broadcast, you can't have that at all. That is so disappointing. Now, what I was going to show you is, as you can tell, I have a green screen behind me here. So this picture that I've got looks amazing, and it actually looks like I'm faking an SLR shot, which is exactly what I'm doing because I have a green screen behind me. But I want to get the effect of an SLR. So in order to do that within the Elgato software, well, you can't really do that natively. There's a whole bunch of settings here. You can see that the frame rate is really choppy. That's disappointing. I have never had this issue with an SLR and an Elgato 4K Camlink capture card. And it's just disappointing because there's a lot of great settings here. We have exposure, which I have turned off for the auto. I do manual exposure. I have the shutter speed set at 1/64 with the ISO at 250. That seems to be great. And it's locked up again. It is frozen again on me. That's 4 times now on this broadcast. Such a disappointment because you saw there the results that you were getting with some clever magic with keying out your background with a green screen, dropping in an image and then applying a little Gaussian blur to the background and faking that SLR look. And if I turn back, look, I'm frozen again. I'm locked up. The camera is completely locked up. This is extremely disappointing. I'm going to recycle again. Turn it back off again. And turn it on again. Turn it off and back on again so many times during the course of this broadcast, everybody. I'm so disappointed that this is the case. And now we're back again, which, I mean, come on, this is just wild. I'm going to adjust it again. But honestly, I have multiple lights set up that are casting light on me, that are lighting me correctly. The colour is still not great. It's a little bit dark, a little bit intense, a little bit red for my liking as well, especially if you compare it to the my SLR colours, okay? Now, it's impressive results. You can get some extremely impressive results from this, but it's such a shame that this thing keeps locking up and keeps freezing, and therefore I have to recycle it. I have to restart it. I have to turn it off. I have to unplug everything and restart it all again, which is detrimental to your live broadcast. That is extremely disappointing. And honestly, it makes it a hard pass for a lot of people. This will be getting sent back to Elgato because I bought this one myself to test out and potentially recommend it for business purposes, for work purposes. And unfortunately, it's just too unreliable with it constantly like skipping frames, being really, really choppy and completely locking up, which is insane. I also have a Logitech Brio. That camera honestly never let me down. Now, yes, the Elgato FaceCam has uncompressed video at 1080-60. So the video quality is higher than the Logitech Brio, which actually I think they've just rebranded it, the Logitech 4K Pro camera, I think they've called it. But honestly, I would stick with the Brio because of its reliability, and the camera's locked up again. That is wild. I was just talking there for a few minutes and the camera has locked up again. So let me just zoom in. This is so disappointing, everybody. Look at this, because this is the camera here, right? I can't zoom really in any further than that just now without getting up off my chair and manually zooming in on my SLR. But it is such a shame that this camera is giving me so many technical issues. Look at this, I've locked up again, completely frozen. Oh, disappointing. Anyway, that was my quick impressions. Had it been working, had it been not the tally lights gone off again, so it's lost power, entirely lost power. I don't know why. There's no reason why it should have lost power. But had it been reliable, this would have been an easy recommend to a lot of people. If you have good lighting setup, because you need lights for any camera setup really, whether you're using an SLR or you're using a web camera, you need good lighting setup. With that in mind, you could get some really, really incredible results. Now, I did a little comparison. So this is my SLR in my normal setup. So as you can see, there are a lot of caveats here. I'm using a green screen. I use a green screen with my SLR. I use a green screen all the time. And I faked the background with an image in the background there and applied a lot of blur to it. So I was doing the exact same setup with the to make it as fair as possible. A green screen with studio lights on the Panasonic GH5 with the 12-60mm Leica lens with a Elgato Camlink 4K capture card, and I was using the exact same setup but with the Elgato FaceCam as well. And you can see the difference in the colours there. Look at the colours. If I go back to that screenshot there, the colours for my skin tone, the colours for my beard, my hat, the key around myself is really, really high quality. And even this behind the scenes camera, the picture quality is really, really high end as well. But you got to expect that from an SLR. Sadly, if I go back to this freeze frame, the colors are much darker. Like, they are much darker. There's a lot of red in the picture, which you can't seem to get rid of. You can't do that natively within the Elgato streaming software. There's a little bit of color calibration, which you can do in the software, but it's not as robust as you would hope. But this unreliability of it locking up and just freezing and shutting down is a hard pass for a lot of people. They need to be made aware of that. There's a lot of major streaming channels doing the recommendations on this camera, but so far nobody has mentioned how much it stutters and then just dies mid-broadcast, mid-recording. So yeah, that's my initial take. Extremely disappointing, because the results that you can get out of this from this Elgato FaceCam are extremely impressive, given the right setup, the right amount of tweaking and adjusting which you can get from it. But the unreliability is, wow, really, really disappointing. So guys, that's it for me. Thank you for this quick little demo. Let me know your thoughts as well, and if you were considering getting an Elgato FaceCam, but maybe some things have come to light, maybe this video has changed your opinion. Let me know. Take care, guys. Bye bye.